Alright, 230 reading worksheet question 1. The nameplate for a 15 horsepower 3-phase motor shows an FLA of 20 amps at 460 volts. What minimum size wire is required for this motor? So for sizing motor circuit conductors, we can disregard this 20 amp FLA given by the nameplate. We're actually required to use, for DC motors, 430.247. For single phase, it's 430.248. For two phase, 249, and then three phase, 430.250. And the reason we're required to use these tables is motors have varying efficiencies, and so a future motor swapped in when the one you're installing fails may draw more current if it's less efficient, and the circuit conductors would be insufficient for that motor if you were to size to the bare minimum. So the NEC requires us to kind of size for a worst case scenario using these tables. So we take that excuse me, 460 volt and 15 horsepower, and that gives us 21 amps, and then we multiply that by 1.25. That gives us 26.25 amps. And then we go back to table 310.15b16 and 75 degree column down to 26 amps. It's over 25 amps, so we have to round up, and that'll give us 10 gauge. So 10 gauge, that'll be E for question 1. Now, one thing you have to watch out for with these is, like in question 4 here, SO cord. So for the motor in scenario 230.28, the minimum SO cord permitted contains blank AUG conductors. And this is a 5 horsepower 208 to 230/460 volt 3-phase motor, and our supply is a 3-pole breaker in a 120 208 volt 3-phase 4-wire panel. So that means we're going to be running it at 208 off of table 430.250. 208 at 5 horsepower gives us 16.7 amps. We multiply that by 1.25. It gives us 20.9 amps. And then instead of going back to 310.15b16, we're actually going to go back to 400. Article 400 for flexible cords and flexible cables. And find SO cord in there. Oh, here we go. Allowable ampacity for flexible cords and flexible cables. And then in here we find SO. And then you see we have column A and column B given here. And then if you look down here, I guess you can't see it there. A is the allowable currents under column A apply to 3 conductor cords and other multi-conductor cords connected to utilization equipment so that only 3 conductors are current carrying. And then B, the allowable currents under column B apply to 2 conductor cords and other multi-conductor cords connected to utilization equipment so that only 2 conductors are current carrying. So we have a 3-phase motor, so we're going to be falling under column A. And column A, we had, 20.9 amps. So we're past that 20 amps, so we go up to 23 for 11 gauge. So it means 11 gauge SO cord is going to be the smallest SO cord permitted for this installation. That's answer E there.